All right, you're now tuned into the world's most interesting podcast. Like I said last time, at least I think so anyway. Man, we definitely got one. We got us one of those shows tonight. I feel it. We got one of those. This gonna be one of them ones tonight. I already feel the heat coming off y'all keyboards already. So try not to sprain your finger. Because we don't have podcast insurance. So tell a friend right now. Go ahead and start taking time to share it out. Let people know we on. All that and more on the Floor is Yours podcast. Let's get right into it right after this intro.
They the rawest new podcast, who want the smoke? Coming raw and uncut like who want this dope? Whatever you want, they for sure to cover the topic. From racial issues to fashion flies to cockpit. Y'all ain't never get it like this, cause they ain't never did it like this. We on our this the way the cookie crumbles for y'all. She gon' bring the inspiration to all. You know what's up with her. And this shit manifesting is a vision. And y'all gon' love TJ cause he the realest. From the heart of a mob, they the start of it all. You looking for a high learning, holla at your rod. The professor, another lesson coming at you with the lessons. Get your edge if you knowin' what's good for you. They educated, but they still keep it hood for you. Won't need another, this one here really do it for you.
Baby, the floor is yours. Yeah, baby, I made the floor is yours. If it come down to the floor is yours. Let me show you how the floor is yours. 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 The floor is
All right, welcome back, everybody. What's up? I'm James D, along with some familiar crew faces. What's up, IC?
What it do?
What's up, Deb? I see you with the Floor is Yours shirt representing. You're muted. What's up, Flex?
I was trying to make sure you heard me.
That's funny. Hey, I had to roll with it.
Yeah, I'm there. You see?
No offense to anybody. What's up, T. Will?
Man, just here from a long weekend, man. It was awesome,
Cool,
man.
daddy.
Straight awesome. Had a ball, man. One of the topics we about to discuss, some parts of it anyway, but I'm good, bro.
All right, what's up, Flex? You just can't say
Man, I'm channeling my old T. Will, bro. You know me.
Cool cat daddy.
Yeah, man.
I don't ever want to be around him if it's a fire. Like, yo. You better get animated or something.
Yeah.
Shout out to the other crew members who ain't here tonight. Maybe they might pop in. Who knows? Tranquil T, TJ, Cookie. What up? All right. Before we get into the show today, we got a good show today. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the last show. I did a little comment creeping. We talked about that last time, right? Creeping through the comments. And the last show, was about relationship urgency. And we were talking about, like, do things change when it comes to your timeline and your rules as you get older, right? One of the interesting comments that I saw from last week was from Shay Cooper. Shay Cooper Sesson. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's
And Shay, you a trip, man. Shay said he can be ugly, but I bet his shoes better not be leaning. I'm gonna miss my blessing if they are, because I'm passing right on by.
Hey, but that's the truth. You can tell a lot about a man by his shoes, though. I'm just saying.
Hey,
Well, for one, if they lean, he got on the wrong pair. He don't have the right ones to support his feet. Then that could be a proper indication. T. Will, that my boy down there. I'm just saying, we not been taught. We just been taught to look at good shoes or colorful shoes, name brand shoes, but not supportive shoes. And he just didn't have the right support base.
hey, sometimes.
I'm just saying.
Hey, it's called over and under pronating.
Pronation right there, Will. $150 a pop for some shoes. Get right.
That's right. That's all you got to do. You just weren't educated on it.
My boy.
Now, last week's show wasn't about shoes. I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea. We were talking about like what are some deal breakers and what are some of the things that come about, like like what are some things that you look for that you don't look for in a mate? When it comes to like what you're attracted to and then what you will settle for later. It was a lot of great, entertaining, interesting comments. Y'all definitely had the comments blowing up last week. So, but Shay, you did it. So we need you to inbox and with your size, color, mailing address, all that, so we can get that out the way.
Yeah. Dale.
Hey, since I was rudely skipped over, no offense, it's all good. No. First, we want to say thank you for everyone tuning in, all the followers for tuning in, watching us each week. We do appreciate you all. We do want to make sure that you tune in to the end of the show because we're giving away some money. It's our contribution. How you say it? Our contribution to the stimulus check. This is our kind of stimulus check. So we're going to be giving away a couple of those tonight. So we want y'all to like, share, do a party of y'all watching us, something, show your support. We send people you don't have Facebook over to our YouTube. So we do have a YouTube page, everyone. So you can go over there and reach us there. Also, come join the conversation. Just make sure you typing in and asking us any questions. We are going to read comments throughout the show. So and answer as many questions as we can. So let's make sure that you engage with us and we engage with you. But thank you for tuning in.
Okay. All right, let's get into it. But before hey, Blaze, can I do something?
Yeah, man, of course, brother.
It's not my money, so I know we have a cut at the end of the show, and it was supposed to be for whoever already done subscribe to the YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna put it out there for people like Chris and Curtis and Benny who are already on. Right now, since you already on, go ahead. Go over to the YouTube, subscribe, because at the end of the show, we're going to pick 2 people that's subscribers that are going to win today's stimulus package prize that Deb was just kind of telling y'all about. That's $30, man. Like I said, for people who don't have good friends like me, you can use that for your streaming services that you got to pay for that I don't, because I got good friends. But let's get on to the show. So this week, what are we talking about? We're talking about, as a society, we assign the title of, real man to males if they pay all the bills and pay for all the dates. And, like we saw the comment that the game made, on his social media, kind of pandering to women about, I guess I'm old school and I'm built different. I don't see how a real man gonna do this and do that. And he was talking about how he take care of everything. It's not even up for debate. Some people feel like that's a form of control. Some people that's their threshold and their motto of what they prefer. And that's just what it is. And women don't accept anything less than that. Some women don't like to be, they don't like for men to do everything for them because they want to show that they can do their own. So let's get into that real quick. So when it comes to bills, dates, gifts, trips, we want to get everyone's opinion. Should men cover all the expenses? like I said, I could already feel the heat coming from the keyboard, and I can already see some women vigorously typing right now. So what y'all got? We're gonna get to the comments, and while we wait on y'all comments to come up, let's start with you, IC. How you feel about it?
Well, I was focused on the question is about like me, first of all, the dates and stuff. Who'd you pay? What if the first date is not a restaurant or anything? My first date was at the park. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be anything that had to be jumping off the top that it was about money. At least that part for me was being able to sit in a peaceful place to be able to talk to one another. So that's how I would go with that. And then I did a picnic. You know, I didn't mind making the basket, you know, doing those different things. I just feel that there's a balance between the two. For me, if I invite, then I feel like for me, I'm going to pay because I invited. That's just me. Now, I feel like we can take turns once again. Now, if you want to surprise me and you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm one of them. I'm not an over the top girl. I'm not even a diamond type, you know, chick, you know, all that. I'm really, really, really mellowed out. Right. So I think it's more so the thought for me that you put into wanting to make the date and the preparation that you do it in us for us to enjoy the time together. So I really don't have a price tag on it for me personally. So I just enjoy the simplicity of dating, gifts and all those things like that. And I'm good with a staycation in the backyard. Let's get a tent. I'm just saying, let's just light up on the patio. If I had a truck, I think y'all heard me say this one time before. It could be that old Suburban I used to have. Take all the seats out, put some stuff in the back, and just going on about like that. So that's basically where I am with that. I'm just kind of laid back, but it's more important about the thought that you put into it. And yeah, that's my answer.
Hey, follow up for Misha. What if he asked you out and asked you to pay though?
Now that's a different story now. Now, if he asked me to go, but I don't, it's offensive. I feel disrespectful to ask me to pay. Now, y'all see how I'm really chill because I'm learning some things about myself, but it wouldn't be right. And I would be honest enough to tell him, you know, I think that you should have let me know and you give me the right to decide if I want to go on this date with the exclusion of what you didn't tell me prior to us getting here. Because if it's left up to me, you're going to be sitting here left at the table, cleaning dishes or whatever, and I'm going to just go and wait outside for you or call a friend to pick me up. But no, I wouldn't appreciate that part if it was done in that manner. No, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm about with Misha. I'm very laid back. I'm very down to earth. You don't have to pay for me all the time. I want to show my gratitude to you just as much as I want you to show who you are to me. I truly feel as you get to know someone, then that's how you know who's paying for what. You just pick up on it, you know. Like you said, if I invite you out, yes, I'm gonna pay for it. Now, for as first dates, I've seen a lot of guys talk about on first dates how we need to go stag. You need to pay for your own. I'm gonna pay for my own. I just feel like in situations like that, you shouldn't even be going out on a date with that person. Y'all didn't take enough time to talk on the phone, get to know each other before you decide to go out on a date. Now you feel like if the first date don't work out and say y'all go out to a nice restaurant and it don't work out, now you feel in some kind of way because you feel like she just used you to go get an expensive meal, and now you in your feelings, and now you're bitter towards women. Well, you should have took control of the situation, and or her took control of the situation, and basically was like, hey, let's get to know each other first before we go on this date. So we won't have to have that conversation, because by then you will get to know me within a couple of weeks. I eat out all the time, and when I eat out, I'm not a Chili's, Applebee's type girl. That's just not me. It's just me and my daughter. I'm a single mom. We eat good. I mean, I look good too, though, still, but we eat good over here, you know. So I want you to treat me the same way that the same way I treat myself. I want you to treat me the same way. So I don't expect a man to pay all the time, but I do want you to show me that you can take care of me at the same level I take care of myself. How about that?
Okay, T. Will, what you got, man? You start calling
Hey
Deb. I'm gonna start
man,
calling Deb.
hey.
I'm gonna start calling Deb 2 for 20. Go ahead, T. Will.
Nah, that's 3 for 5, dog. Nah, but I mean, we all gonna have our different standards and whatnot. But I do believe that. So if a man asks a woman out, or if like whatever the case may be on the first date, I do believe like the man should, probably go ahead and fork up for the bill. And then after that, y'all can decide kind of what it is. But I just think that on the first night, if a woman, no, I want to pay, no, no, I'm gonna pay. Well, I don't think you should fight her. If that's what she want to do, let her do it. You know what I'm saying? But I do think you should at least try and offer up to pay for that. I think that's just being a gentleman. Whether she say yes or no, then you let her decide on that. But I think just as a man, the first date time thing, I definitely would. I definitely would pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Unless she gets really adamant about me not paying for it. But I would do everything in my power. But if she take over, I can't do nothing. I'm good.
I mean, because that first date is setting the tone. So it's setting the tone on the relationship or on y'all growth or how y'all go from then. So yeah, if a man paying is setting the tone. If the woman's paying is setting the tone. Because some dudes, just like females, they want a woman to take care of them. So I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Dave, if you say it's setting the tone too, then it sets the tone too, depending on what restaurant you pick. Because you can go to the most expensive off the top and they're going to think you all about money. Now, I'm going to be the girl that come back and piggyback what you said. I've been that girl that 2 for 20 because, first of all, before you start really learning to date in the areas that you are, honey, all you knew was finger foods. There was appetizers and all that. It wasn't these steaks and wine glass where they told you to hold a stem, baby. You were just glad that, across the top. Yeah. But when you begin to evolve and know better or learn better, then there was a different caliber. So I'm just going to say this. I can eat up there and I can eat right here. So I just want them to know that I'm versatile with that thing. Because sometimes it may not be the most expensive because we might be taking a date in the car and we driving down the highway. We're going to have to get that to go. And it may be, I don't really eat 4 for 4, but if it had to be a 4 for 4, just give me some chicken nuggets from Wendy's and them old fries and some barbecue sauce and a lemonade, natural strawberry lemonade, and we're gonna make this work. So yeah, I mean, but like Will said, it's the the preference of the people. But we doing good tonight. They're over there straight filet mignon, baby.
No, don't get me wrong. No, I'm not at the top all the time. Trust me, I'm really not. I'm not at the top all the time. I'm just saying, in a sense, I'm not gonna pick the most expensive. I'm gonna say this: food is one thing I would spend money on. So if the food is good, that's what I spend money on. I spend money on good food.
When's the last time you've been on a date?
Back in February.
Ooh. You think they got something to do with it?
Oh Lord.
No, because they actually had a chance to know me. We actually talked for 3 months before.
It came out wrong. I didn't mean to throw a slip.
You did. But I spent $85 on myself at the restaurant last night. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I will do
if
that.
I'm going to spend, if I'm willing to spend on myself, I want someone to bring that same energy. I'm not saying we got to spend that every single time we go out to eat. No, I was out with my girls last night. We had a good time. And my own personal bill came out to be $85. So I'm going to eat. I like to eat. And that's what I spend money on. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I'm not bougie now. I just like food.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, what you got?
For me, I don't want to touch too much into it because I know T. Will going to bring that question up in the floor is yours segment. But I think that in this day of equality, where everybody is working and everybody got their own concerns and issues or whatever, I think that it's just worth considering, that the female gender may be paid. That's just me. Me personally, if I'm out on a date, I pay. But that's my expectation. I don't put that on anyone else to where we're going to coin that as a real man because I know our society kind of pushes that right? And they literally will bash a man if he is not paying for the meal or if he's not paying all the bills in the house, things of that nature right there. So again, at the end of the day, we always say this: what works for you, make sure that you let your expectations be known, and that way it's no surprises.
I'm gonna say this. Number one, money does not make you a real man. We can all
Correct.
agree on that. There's some rich deadbeats and some broke thoroughbreds out there, so that's not the issue. But I think that actions make you a real man, right? So for me, I feel that dating is, and let's be honest, dating is an investment. You're investing your money and your time into trying to get to know somebody and see if it's going to go somewhere. And you got to honestly sometimes approach it like a business transaction. If it's not working right, then you got to cut your losses and move out. But I do feel that as a man, there are certain rules and guidelines. And for me personally, if I'm going on a date with someone, I'm not going to let that person pay for me on the first date. That's not going to, I don't care how adamant that she is. I don't care who invited who or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it's not about tricking. I don't believe in tricking. They say a sucker will get licked. I'm not trying to be that sucker. So I just feel that when it comes to, and also remember, I got goddaughters and nieces. So these are the things that I'm telling them. Like, I do feel that if any guy's taking you out, you should expect for him to pay. You should expect for him to open up your doors. You should expect for him to show manners and do all of this. But at the same time, you need to be prepared. Don't ever go anywhere broke. Don't ever, on the first date, let some guy take you out. Y'all need to meet up so you can leave when you want to leave. And all of these are the certain rules and guidelines that I have conversation with my teenage and young 20-year-old nieces and goddaughters, or whatever the case may be. So those type of things are important to me. When it comes to males, like the thing that I preach is, how you start is how you got to finish. So don't try to impress somebody with your money, because that's what they're going to be expecting from you all the time. Because you can lose the money. So if you lose what you got to get them, guess what? You're going to lose that person. But you're not going to lose being you, your personality. So I think that when you are doing a date, the first date you shouldn't try to impress somebody with the location of the date or how much money you spend. It should be about you as a person, like a casual dining environment that you're not tripping on how much it costs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able, and everybody not balling. You don't have to pretend like you are. You can budget for it. Like, it don't matter if you make minimum wage. If you like, I got a $40 budget this month for dates, then you just go on that one date and, you show her a good time. Like Nisha said earlier, there are a lot of great places that you can take somebody, that you can go at a certain time for appetizers and happy hour specials and all that. Great ambiance, and just focus on having a good conversation. That's my thoughts on it. So don't try to impress these women with your money, fellas, because if you lose it, you're going to lose that girl.
Yeah, and let me add to that too, James, how important it is to have that conversation, because sometimes we can get caught up in, the spending of the money, the location and all that you don't even, I just think I understand guys' point, because I've heard the conversation a lot, is that they don't want to go and spend a whole lot of money on a date that's not going anywhere. And if you're actively dating and pursuing a relationship, if you're honest, that can get expensive. So that's all I'm saying is that if the expectation is there, let it be known, so that at the end of the day, there's no surprises,
Yeah, I totally feel you. And I think, unfortunately, we got a lot of lames out there that push narratives like it ain't tricking if you got it. But tricking, bro. Yeah. But nevertheless, let's get to some of these comments. Flex, pop some comments up on the screen so we can get into them.
So here's one kind of in line with what you just said. Anybody want to touch this one from Benita?
I like what Benita said. It's a couple of them I like a while ago. Yeah, she said, don't try to impress with money, but have a little money and be impressive. Okay.
That's nice.
That. So she said be impressive with your attitude and your personality and things of that nature right there. So that's a good comment.
Yeah, to be able to talk and, to be able to dialogue, even if the food nasty, at least you got great conversation.
Yeah. But here's being transparent too, letting a person know that you're finna take out, hey, like you said, I'm on a budget. I don't have that much money to spend on a date right now. That's what a compromise in the unity of the relationship come together. It really does.
I ain't doing that. I'm going man up, take control. Like, hey, I want to take you out. This is where we going. You cool with that? Blah, 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 blah. You don't gotta get all my business like that. I don't know you like that.
You know what? I agree with you, bro. You don't have to go that deep into the conversation.
Yeah.
If you got to go that deep in the conversation, think about it. Is it really worth it? We don't even know each other. What am I have to explain all that to you for? I'm taking you out or not.
No, it's nothing like that. I mean, but sometimes being transparent to someone, we can't read your mind. Okay, so what if you pick in a restaurant and you land out the law? Hey, I want to take you out, and this is where we're going. Bam. What if it's a place that I don't eat at? Can I offer a suggestion without it hurting your feelings?
No, of course. You can speak up and be like, well, I really don't like that type of food. Like, okay, well, because you can, like you said earlier, if you're having a conversation before you go out, you should have an idea of kind of what somebody like. And if I know you allergic to seafood, I'm not going to take you to a seafood restaurant. And if you tell me that you really like X type of food, then I'm going to go to a restaurant that has X type of food within my budget without telling you all my business. Because again, I don't know you like that.
So James, so if she say she likes seafood and you take her to Long John Silver's, that's okay?
I wouldn't take a girl to Long John Silver's on the first date. But if she said she really, really if she was talking like, I love Long John Silver's, and you found a creative way to do some type of picnic, and then you had Long John Silver's like warm in the picnic basket or something like that. I mean, you can be creative with it. But anyway, let's go ahead.
Let me say this, what I've learned from my daughter and her husband now, but when they dated. You remember those little pieces of paper, or you could write stuff on the paper, and they would just put it in their hands, and they would pick from that what they were going to do. What was so ironic about it is that they picked something that was the same. But I mean, it's like I said, it's different ways you can approach wanting even on the first date so that we both kind of meet in the middle. Because what I do learn about James is very prepared. He writes, he does these different things. So it's not about basically dialoguing sometimes, James, when you ask, because you want to just structure the whole thing. And Deb do got a point, just kind of ask. That way, if it is something different, and I'm not saying give all the whole spiel about, you don't got this amount of money, but that way we know, what we like to eat and what we don't, and we come into a medium place. But the little, I kind of like these things, and I'm gonna start trying some of this stuff, baby. Write what you like. I'm gonna write what I like. We're gonna put it in this little jar, and we're gonna pick something out. Whatever we land on, we going. How about that?
Well, y'all raising a question to me is, how long are y'all talking before y'all go on this first date? Because clearly y'all not putting in enough time on the phone getting to know this person before you taking them out. My deal is, don't meet me yesterday and then take me out tomorrow and then expect like you know me and know where I should be wanting to go. I mean, let's talk first. And that's the problem. We're too busy rushing into the date and not too busy rushing and talking. Now, because now you're all on the physical level, you looking at how they look and how they no, get to know me and how I truly feel about situations in the dating process. When are we going to talk about that before we go on this first date? Y'all acting like y'all meeting this person one day and the next day we're going out on a date. No, talk to me for at least a week before you take me out, because I don't want to go out and meet you anyway and I don't know you. I got to get back home to my child. I'm not trusting everybody. Yes, I'm going to meet you there at the restaurant. Yes, I'm going to have my gun on me too. But I'm not trusting. I can't trust you like that. I'm not just going to go out on the first date after meeting you and I haven't even talked to you for a whole week yet. That's just not going to happen.
We're going to go to this next question, but I'm going to say this, Deb. I'm not giving you my number if I even got a bad vibe. So I ain't even got to go any further with that, because I'm just not doing it. I've had men ask for my number and I said no. And they was like, well, is something wrong with me? I said, no, ain't nothing wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with me. It just ain't for me, and just leave it alone. So even if we stop it at that point, not even giving out numbers or even going into something, because sometimes we already know. And then once we get a number to them, we get to ignoring them, don't want to talk to them, but then we act like they worrying the hell out of us because we done gave them the number.
All right. Hey, hold on. Let's do this. Let's take time out.
I got so much to say.
Deb and T Will, I want y'all to do something for me.
What?
Do y'all have any type of paper around y'all right now? Any type of pencil?
Oh, here you go.
T Will, you got something? Let me know when you're ready, T Will. All right, here we go. I want you guys to both write a number on a piece of paper. And I want you to jump in on this too. Write a number on a piece of paper. What is in your mind, what is an ideal universal date budget? You got to put a dollar amount on it. First date.
Oh,
First
first date.
Universal date night budget. First date. Give me a dollar amount.
Ladies first.
I don't have no number.
We already know for dead 2 for $20 not good enough. So we're gonna go to our financial.
Don't say that.
You said it. So Dad,
I just don't like.
what's your budget amount? We know it's not $20. What you got?
It depends on how long I done known the person. That's what I'm saying.
Dollar amount, no words. Dollar. First date, dollar amount. Jennifer, you need to go sit down somewhere right now.
What Jennifer said, 100 spot. Woo-wee.
Jennifer said what?
What you got, Dad? That's real little. I think.
Oh, 75.
$75. You $75 worthy first date. Okay. T Will, what you got? Oh no, you said ladies first. Okay, I see. What you got? $60. Okay. We got 75. I hear 60. What we got, T Will?
I got 100. See, no.
$100 first date?
That's first date. Just what Jennifer said.
Hey,
Right
T Will thinking about his wife though, man.
But I said no first date.
Hey, she got to be white quality if I'm gonna take her out anyway.
Oh,
I'm not-
come on.
Because he got to know her first.
She don't have to be some kind of quality for me. If I'm talking about taking her out spinning the seagull, come on, man. And it ain't even about no sex. We can talk, and if the conversation is good, that's worth my $100.
That was nice.
Gerard, Flex.
Man, I don't. Okay, a budget. I would say 100 to entire date 100 to 150, and let me qualify that because if we've met each other, you know, we talked, and by the time we get to a date, we're probably pretty comfortable. And I'm going out not just to eat, but to have a good time. So it may be like a Top Golf, you know, a couple of drinks, dinner, and everything in its totality. So maybe 100, 150.
Okay, let's get to some of these comments. Jennifer said a movie is 20, a person equals 40, $60 for food. First of all, no one should go to the movies on the first date. The point is to get to know somebody. So you shouldn't go to a place where you're not even supposed to talk.
But you didn't ask that. You just asked about this money. You didn't ask about Don't go there with Jennifer. Just go on and go down this little line.
What else you got? Hey, fellas, free game. Don't you take no woman to the movies on the first date. Don't do it.
Go down the line to the next money in line.
Don't do it.
Hey, back in the day, that's what used to happen though. Like when you was in middle school, high school. So you take them to movies or something like this.
In high school, our conversation wasn't built up yet.
It was.
Shoot, we were still stealing lines from movies and stuff.
Well, maybe it was the time. Maybe it was the time then, because a lot of that it always ended up. You probably didn't even stay the whole movie.
I'm gonna say that, like, if you go into a decent place to eat, that's like casual dining, just to get to know somebody. I agree with what Nay said. Around $50, $60 if you're getting some nice food and some drinks. I think that's decent. What's some other comments? What do some other people say?
Well, Chris done chimed in. Hey, Chris, I'm your friend today. Miss I.C. loves you. He said, okay, y'all must be talking a Dallas budget, LOL, $100 for a first date in TK, and he said the S word with I want to address Chris on that one. See, this is what gets me. We have this mentality because Dallas is 2 hours up the road that it's okay to spend that amount. And if you down here in Texarkana, which they've got the Benchmark, they've got all different types of restaurants that are a little bit more of an upscale. Twisted Fork. I mean, you just got a lot of different things. We just don't venture out enough to know that these places are here. So you know what, Chris, you were doing really well until no, I'm just playing. You still doing all right. But I mean, in Texarkana, it is possible because, like you said, if you're drinking and you have other things and you're sitting there talking, the tab can kind of really run up. And if you get a couple of steaks, depending on your ounces, and if you're gonna get a little bit of shrimp added to that, that can go up too. So, Chris, it is possible in Texarkana. So don't you ever compare that to a Dallas situation ever again, because you can go to Dallas and still be on 60 because they're going to take you over there to the south side where they got that good chicken and that good barbecue, and it can still go down. How about that?
Don't
Love it.
hold up. Shout out to Carlisa Crossland. She said, "LOL, you all are amazing." That was really,
Yes.
really,
We love
Thank
you.
really
you.
Carlisa. I really appreciate that.
Hey, what about this comment right here?
You can
It's
do
for you,
that
man.
over the phone. Some folks love music. Exactly. Talking before you actually go on the date. Get to know me first.
Yeah.
Hey, no, for real. How right now in this day and time, how long is the average conversation over the phone?
Non-existent.
It's
Oh,
more
no,
texting.
well, you with the
It's
wrong
more
person.
texting. Okay, Bill. So right now, if you talking to a guy, how often do you talk to him on the phone?
If we're actively pursuing each other, that's
Yeah.
an everyday thing. That's an
How
everyday thing.
long? How long?
It depends on your work schedule. The last guy that I talked to at night, we was like teenagers. We was literally on the phone for 4 hours at a time, 3 hours at a time. We was truly getting to know each other. As like you said, our conversation is different from when we were in high school. I got 37 years of stuff to catch you up on. I got plenty to say. And I gotta know you too. If you go in my phone right now, the guys that I have talked to, if you go to their contact, under contact, you have the notes. I'm literally taking notes on stuff that you like. What's your favorite soda, your favorite color? So I can remember these things. So I'm not trying to bog my mind when it's time for your birthday or Christmas or whatever to give you a gift, which is something we need to talk about on gifts and stuff. But I'm really actively trying to do my part to get to know you and remember these things. So I put it on the notes on your contact. I want to talk. I have too much to tell you about me. I got 37 years of me that you don't know about.
Okay.
So yes, I'm talking.
So actually, you just made an interesting point. You talked about gifts and stuff like that. So that's actually a good segue to lead me into my next point. Let's progress in a relationship, right? So now we passed the first dating stage. We're past the getting to know you stage. Right now, you are in a full-blown relationship. You know, we're going to talk about the relationship in two parts: relationship and marriage. So we can relate. Everybody can relate. So, what are your personal rules and policies as it pertains to gifts in a relationship and to trips in a relationship? So now we're about to get into it. Trips and gifts. And everybody watching, please make sure you inputting and commenting and talking to each other as well as giving your feedback so we can address it on the show. Flex, let's start with you. What's your view on, in your rules and personal policies on gifts and trips when you're in a committed actual relationship?
Yeah. So I think it varies, you know. I don't think it's a hard and fast rule, but for me, I've been the person that, you know, paid for the bills, the trips, the dates and all that. And what I know is that at the end of the day, it can mean nothing. So my thing is, I know it was one of the comments on the post that we made earlier about the show where she said when the person is investing in a person, that it makes them more committed. So I'm under that mindset right there, is that I don't mind paying, but I know sometimes it can be taken for granted. And I do really believe that when people start investing their resources, whether it's money, time, themselves into a relationship, they tend to be more committed. So I think it needs to be shared responsibility on that front. That's how I feel.
Okay, I see. How you feel about it? What's your personal policies or your rule of thumb when it comes to gifts and trips in an actual relationship?
Well, y'all finna laugh now because y'all know I come. I got more trips and when I was just a girlfriend than I did being married. If you don't want to hear my truth, let's not talk. But however, going forward, I have learned that if we're, depending, because you do have some marriages where if the wife makes more money and the husband is taking care of things, then she handles the trips and all that. I don't really have rules and things like that. I don't. I just feel like if we gonna collectively do something together, we need to sit down and figure out how we gonna do it and how it works for us. And that's basically the truth of the matter for me. So, I mean, but if I want to go on a trip and I feel like it's something, say it's a gift for him, I'm not looking for him to tap into that because it's something that I wanted to do for him. So I allocated that amount or whatever I wanted to do because, like Dave said, I've listened to some things that he wanted or desired to go to. But when you don't have those discussions, and then if the other person has feel like they've seen the world and they've gotten older and they just don't need to see it no more, then you kind of left in another limbo. And some of these things do occur once you get married because along the way, there has not been the right conversations. And when you get to this place, sometimes you have a disconnect. And so we're not dialoguing correctly in that manner. And then, of course, I do agree right here with what Jennifer just said. You need to know each other's love languages, because if you aren't a person that gives a person, that person may not care about your hard-earned money or give. Now, I'm gonna piggyback on that. In my marriage, my husband was one that gave. He thought that was like the diamonds and things like that. That wasn't me. And then if he bought certain gifts, it wasn't that I wasn't appreciative, but it wasn't things that I liked. So therefore, it ended up probably getting taken back. So in the end, he just probably started doing things, remembering like I like to decor, things like that. So he began to look at the way I would do things, not necessarily talking about it and asking, but then eventually I would have to say, and then we did get the book. Now that she mentioned that, we did, and it began to show that I was one that I liked it to be a part of something, a partnership. So that means collectively doing things together. So for me, it would have been about talking about it, to find out where we were going to do it together collectively. Because I'm just saying, so for me, I don't have rules. I just feel like there should be a common ground where we meet in the middle to be able to know which way we want to go. But if it's something that I choose to do as a gift, I know that he likes, then I'm willing to say, hey, I'm going to take care of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a question for Deb, then I got a question for T. Will. Deb, this is my question to you. Hypothetically, you've been in a relationship for 1 year. Now, 1 year into your relationship, you approach your man and you're like, babe, you know what? COVID, everything's starting to open back up. You know what? We ain't never been anywhere. Let's take a vacation. I want to go somewhere. Let's go somewhere. And he's like, all right, baby, cool. And so later that evening, he on the computer, right? He's like, hey, come over here. Hey, we can go to this place and this place, and it's only gonna be $800 per person for the flight and the hotel. So I mean, if you want to do it, just you can go ahead and shoot me your half, and I'll go ahead and book it right now. So basically, you suggested that y'all go somewhere, and this is y'all first time about to go somewhere, and so he comes at you basically like, where your half at? What's your response?
Okay, I'll send it. Because my deal is I'm not going to ask you for something that I can't get for myself. So just like the women, I want this and take me here and take me there, and you can't even afford it. Don't ask for something you can't afford yourself. That's just me personally. So yes, if I suggested it, he looked it up. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find some people than 800, but hey, I'm gonna do my part. Yeah, let's go.
No.
We can split that. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay but we all know that there are some women who be like, oh no, I ain't never had to pay for a trip for my. There are some women out there that are like that. Have you ever split a trip before?
No. Because I'm gonna tell you, listen. I've been on 2 vacations. Let me tell you, 2 vacations. One of them I paid for because it was your birthday gift. You have never rode a plane, and I paid for the trip. The second vacation I went to, the guy paid for everything. You had frequent flyer miles, so you really didn't come out of pocket, but just for dinner. I did not have to take out only time I took out my wallet was to pay for souvenirs for my kid. So I only been on 2 vacations. We're not gonna make this a normal thing, going on vacations and stuff ain't working out now. So I'm 37 and only been on 2. So I paid for one, and then someone paid for the other.
Who's a girl that ain't never been on a plane?
Listen, it was an older guy. I tried to go older. I went older.
Hey,
And
G,
you had
you
this
went,
small town mentality.
you went out.
You messy. Ooh.
I claim that. I claim that. Put a name on
Frank,
it.
you've been coming at her all night, man. I'm gonna say this about that. I feel that even if, and this is my personal opinion, even if a woman did suggest the trip and I agreed and we decided to go and we split the cost of the hotel and the plane, once we get there, you're not paying for nothing. Like as far as like excursions, wherever we go out to eat, like your money's no good wherever we at. If it were me, like if we were splitting the trip, I'm doing the other stuff. Anybody else want to jump in on that, or did you see any comments pertaining to this the trip aspect part?
Well, I agree with that too. So even if it was vice versa and he, paid for the trip, I'm one to even like with dinner. If the man takes care of everything, I'm good at coming and saying, hey, I got the tip covered. That's just my part. So I don't really have a problem with that. But yeah, it's still about just working together on what works with you in the relationship. Right. And if what we saying don't work for you and what works for you do, guess what? We high five everybody tonight. High five, pity pat. It works for you. How about that?
Hey, I like this comment.
I like this comment. Cool. Can I please comment on this one? Jennifer said, well, the one Jennifer just posted, it says, but does she have a say because you bite? Oh my goodness.
Back up. Before that, she said something about somebody being biased. I'm thinking, Jennifer, let us know if you're talking about JD.
Yeah, Waddell answered this one.
I mean, I just threw it out there. So, and Jennifer, y'all been dialoguing a little bit, JD. I'm just saying. So, I'm want to know. She said that.
I think she was saying that Deb is biased because she only been on 2 trips. That's what I think.
Okay, but that's why I asked the question. I want her to know who she's saying it to. Yeah. So we'll know who.
But go ahead, Deb, and address this one right here, Deb.
She said, "Oh, I gotta find it again. Where it go? But does she have a say because you're biting?" Y'all, that actually happened to me. When I went on that second vacation I went to, the guy actually, we had looked for stuff for us to do, and we had goals to do stuff on certain days. Cool, we had it all mapped out. Well, one certain day we were supposed to go do a certain thing, and you prolonged the process. It took us 45 minutes before we started. I'm trying not to give too much information. It took us 45 minutes. T already know. It took us 45 minutes before we could even start what we planned on doing. And so I got upset. I'm not going to argue. I shut down. I'm going to be quiet because I might say something that I don't need to say. I shut down. Well, later on that evening, I like to address stuff. I don't want to leave nothing out under the table. We finna put it all on the table. So I addressed it later on that evening when we was just having a chill moment. And you told me, well, I paid for it. I can do what I want to do. Y'all, I was so glad we was flying out the very next day. That solidified the relationship for me. It was completely over after that trip. You can't throw money up in my face, because what you do for me, I can do for myself, because I would never ask you to buy me something or take me somewhere or do anything for me that I don't have the physical money or I can't do it for myself. So don't.
Let me say this though. What I would have loved for you have to do, because I'm gonna tell you what you just said sounded like me back in the day. You said you shut down, but in the end you said it solidified it. But he still would have known. At the end of the day, I think that's how sometimes we don't move forward in relationships, because we don't talk openly about what rubbed us the wrong way. Maybe you did, I don't know, but you didn't say
I did, yeah. Later that day,
okay,
yes. That's why I say later that day when we had chill time, I brought it up. And then that's when he made the statement. That,
no. That's what I'm saying. After the statement is when I'm saying, when he said because he did the money. And that's when we come into the place and say, just because you paid for it, that doesn't mean that I'm submissive to how you wanted it to do.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we shut down there without fully going into, and we just say, I'm done with that. And really, they needed to know it. But I mean, of course, that's probably what he normally doing. But somewhere along the way, because you got a little bit frustrated earlier, you begin to see those signs that he possessed, but you was already stuck on the date. So somewhere in the conversation that y'all done had 2 and 3 hours there, you missed the sign. No, I'm just playing. I just had to do this.
No, but
I missed it, girl, because shoot, that one blindsided me. But later, when we came back home, I did address that comment.
Yeah.
When we came back home, I did address that comment. But but I was in a better, calmer space because I can't address stuff at the moment in heat of the moment. I cannot. I always have to go calm down and get my thoughts together before I approach anyone.
Absolutely.
I actually think it's better that you did it the way you did it because I think it is important to make sure that you get home, you're in a safe space to be able to fully express yourself. Especially when you're out of town, that's probably like the only person that you know in the area that you're at. I think it's smart to be safe like that.
Hey, what about this all-inclusive trip that Chris talking about?
Let me tell you about Chris. Chris, a whole Kappa man over there, and what he's saying is a whole lie. I just feel like he just sits on here to try to see this little spark. I just do not believe what he just said down there. No, I just don't. And Chris, I'm saying this out loud to you. That is the Kappa men right now should be ready to stop you with the cane because you are doing a very bad presentation or representation of the Kappa men. That ain't cute. I'm just saying.
Hey, get off my frat, bro.
Well, I'm just sitting on him. Well, you on her. You should have checked him. How about that?
Hey, that's all inclusive though. I'm kind of digging that one.
I mean, seems like he's a thoughtful planner to me.
Yeah.
You said he's thoughtful.
Thoughtful planner. He's playing the whole thing. That's all.
He's not thoughtful. He doesn't have any input in that situation right there.
Hey, but what if she want to take a train ride and she think that's a good idea?
Okay, so if you said it like that, that's different from what JD said. You know, y'all speak different languages. You said, what if she? He just up there saying that's just what that's going. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different response to the way that it's being put out there. But of course, I'm gonna give Chris the business if he get on her talking like that because I think you know what I'm saying?
Hey, but to Chris's defense, what if Chris already they been talking and she been like, it'd be nice to go over there. And he said, well, baby, look, let me take you on a train ride. Let me take you. I'm gonna take you in this all expensive
since you helping him out, then I'm gonna go with this. You right. If that's how it went, but the way he worded it, he make it sound like he's sarcastic and it's just a ha. This what that little cooking part. So the way you just said is a totally another different dialogue. I'm just like we say stuff.
For some reason, I think she knows him.
I figured out who he is, but I'm just saying it's still. I go with the way things are worded.
I got you.
I dissect too much, and so I may need to work on that because when I saw that, it wasn't to me. It was.
All right, man. Look, let's move on. It's time for it's time for the floor is yours segment. T Will, he's going to present a question, and him and Deb, they'll lead the discussion. But we definitely want to make sure that you guys are commenting, and we'll get to as many of the comments that we can. Like I said, do not strain your fingers. We don't got the insurance. T Will, what you got?
All right. The question will be, what would be appropriate for the first date? Whether that be man or woman. What are your personal requirements for that first date? Whether it's like, the woman should pay, man, we should go. The Dutch thing is just like, I don't know. That's just that's somebody kind of made up along the way going through this dating thing to me because, I just think if a man don't take a woman out, come on, man, you gotta man up, man. You got to pay for the first one down. But I always go back to that. If I'm paying and a woman is just having no, look, baby, look, I'm gonna take no, and she just slam on my car down and she wants to pay. What? I gotta let her pay. But on the next one, I'm gonna make sure I pay. If that's the case. But I'm always willing. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna try to take it out the way first. But I just know some women like that. They'll be real adamant to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So, what do y'all feel about that? Let me hear y'all thoughts on that.
I think we should focus on. We talked about if the woman should pay. Again, we talk about this equal society. How do some of the women? We want to know how y'all feel about footing the bill if the man asks you to.
How many of y'all pay for a first date? Crickets.
Crickets.
Let me say this. You're saying pay. Well, even if I went and bought the groceries and made the meal and set it on the park bench, that means I still paid. So I'm gonna raise my hand.
You did.
Yo, I'm just gonna say, yo, so I'm gonna raise mine.
So it just feels different if you're at a restaurant versus at home cooking.
No, I mean, I don't have a problem with. I don't. If not, I just don't. That's just me.
Yeah.
Cynthia, y'all went on a date. Y'all was just hanging out.
Who?
Cynthia.
Cynthia said what?
She said she split it.
She said she split the bill.
Yeah, that's why I said they was hanging out.
That wasn't a date.
But we cannot say that wasn't a date. If that's how her date, she looks at a date. That's her view of the date.
No, she already told me. Okay, my bad, Cynthia. I'm gonna be quiet.
She just shut up.
Hey,
I mean, there is no straight line of how dating goes or how marriage goes. What works best for you and that person after you have had multiple conversations with them and you know each other now, then that's how it should be. What works best for you? Let's stop trying to put it in, well, society says that the man pays, the woman pays. Listen, what's best for y'all situation? If I'm talking to a guy and he say, hey babe, we dating and everything. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm dating on a purpose, because that's what I'm dating for a purpose. The end game is marriage, not just marriage, a happy marriage. And he tells me, hey, you take care of the dates and I'm going to take care of you. And so, and he set a tone like that. This man has a goal, has a vision of where he's trying to take me. I would pay for the date. I mean, well, I can't just say that because I don't know if it's going to actually work. But I'm game. I'm not just stuck in just one way. Be it.
Can I say something? Like, Nicole, back me up, Nicole. Nicole, that's my homie. I just want to know. I think a lot of y'all are being politically correct right now. I'm not saying all, but I feel like some, because I just feel like I have come across too many women in my life that are friends or whatever the case may be, that have straight up said that they are not paying for a first date. They wouldn't even go out with a dude if the dude was not going to pay for the first date.
Well, I'm not going to pay for the first date. I'm not saying I was going to do that.
But that's what he was talking about. And I just feel like some people aren't keeping it real, because it says for the first date. And there are some, because I ain't going to lie, I have told my nieces and my goddaughter straight up, you always need to be able to pay, but you better not. You know what I mean?
So let's talk about the mindset behind.
So go ahead.
What's the mindset behind the first date? Why is it different from? Let's talk about that. Because it's a gentleman thing to do based on our traditions, our cultures, for the men to pay the first date. So it's not just like a woman is being money hungry or greedy or anything like that. You're trying to get him to show that he has a certain level of care or concern for her. Is that your thought?
Thank you, Nicole. Nicole, that's why you're my homie.
Oh, Nicole got it. Let me see.
Nicole said, nope, not paying for the first date. I'm capable, but I will not. Thank you for being here.
I like what Cynthia said. She said, I think it should be discussed up front with the person what's the expectation is. Then you decide based on that, go or not.
Are you going
it's probably going to be or not? Right? If the woman got to pay, it's probably going to be or not.
Yeah, are you going, Cynthia? Let us know.
But I will agree. We have been groomed. So we have been groomed for how this is supposed to go. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So this question right here, this comment says there is a difference between dating and courting. Do y'all see a difference in that?
I'm not sure what the difference is.
What is the difference?
Dating, I believe that just means that we just really ain't gonna never hook up. We ain't gonna hook up. We not going no further than marriage. Courtship means that we're going to a way of wanting to be area of going to be married. That's how I think.
I could see that.
Okay.
You know, like courting could be like you're trying to pursue something more serious, but dating could be just something that's more casual and who knows.
Now, dating is just trying to figure out who you want to court, because that means you're gonna date a couple of people, and then eventually you'll figure out, if you want to court. I'm just saying that's how most of it goes. Dating is not just one person. Dating is multiple people at one time. That's the way that this society is going right now, because now we're trying to either figure out who is who and how they gonna do, who gonna pay, and all.
But see, that's the problem. If you dating too many personalities and too many different people, how can you genuinely get to know me when you're gonna confuse me with the next girl?
So watch this. I'm glad you said that. I feel like we all date multiple people because you're dealing with somebody. You a mama. You got a job. You got different personalities. You're the only personality that the person really gets to meet when you're dating them is the woman that you are before them. They don't meet the mama. They don't meet your job personality. So I mean, that's just how I've learned to look at it. So we really do, but we only focus on one at a time when we're dealing with the person in front of us. So until he gets to date you, he don't really realize you'll raise your voice when you're talking to your kids. He don't really know that you'll act this way or perform a certain way when you're with your colleagues until they get to finally get with you and they see these things.
True.
I think those terms are interchangeable because I've seen people say we dating and they in a serious damn relationship.
How about that?
So yeah, I think it's all in who we're talking about here, in the term that they're categorizing their self in, because I guarantee you can talk to some people right now and they say, I'm like, what y'all doing? Oh, we dating. Okay, so y'all seeing other people now, we intimate with each other. And then you might ask somebody if they're courting, they're like, well, we dating. So they're taking the dating more serious than the term courting. So I just think the terms they're interchangeable, but it all depends on who we're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I do.
What about this one, yeah?
I said that earlier. You know, I think whoever, it depends on who asks. If the man asks, then yeah. But if I ask, then I'm good with it. You know, I may say, you know what? How about we, meet up for coffee or that way or something like that. Meet for it, and that may, like you said, a public place where it ain't just real intimate. But if I've extended that olive branch, then I'm gonna be the one to take I'm gonna take that.
Can we recognize that there is a different thought depending on who asks? Because if a man asks, and versus if a woman asks, a woman can ask and expect a man to pay, but a man can't ask.
Oh Lord, I got sidetracked over there like who?
I know. Sorry.
I got left side. Google came from prostitution at the turn of the century. Dating seems that you're they said if you shaved up on your arms that you would really, that's what whores did so they could be prepared to be with they. I'm just saying if we gonna dialogue.
But I'm just saying we're not going about what the real definitions are or what that is. I'm just saying how people define their own situation.
Yeah.
Right.
They ain't looking at no dictionary. They ain't Googling nothing saying, oh, this is what this means. When you ask them that's the term that they use when they categorize themselves as being together, as trying to come together through a relationship. They're saying we're dating. So I've heard a lot of people say it.
I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, man. I just feel like
well, you've been doing that all night. But
yeah, and I'm about to do it again because it's a lot of critical women, because the same women are like, it don't matter, or whoever asks, whoever do this, like they don't have these set rules. These will be the same women be like, I refuse to propose to a man. Like you can't have it both ways.
I know we ain't proposing. I don't think that's ever been a-okay to do that.
I done seen quite a few posts online with some women being humbling themselves for the man they love to get down on one knee and propose. But so many women are so just straight up adamant. Be like, now people act like they more like, oh, it don't matter about the date. But you meet so many women who be like, I wish I would pay for the first date. That's a deal breaker. It's a wrap. It's over. And I'm not gonna lie, shit. That's what I would tell my niece or my goddaughter.
I think there's some truth to that. We talk about
got piss in the pool.
We talk about decorums and traditions. I think that it's as a society we do kind of honor those, not as if it's truth, but just the norm. So I don't see an issue with asking or expecting a man to pay. I'm just saying that in this day and time, it's just better to be clear than sit down and order, and then when it come time for the checks, he say, "Hey, split them." You gonna be looking crazy.
and I agree with you, and I guess that's what I'm getting to. It's more of a traditional type of thing for a man to pay, and it's like a process, if you will. And I just think, just like the proposal thing is a process, and it's just funny to me how some people are flipping up on one process and not the other. Anyway, we're gonna kick it to you, Deb.
All right, so this next segment is it's one of the highlights of the show. You have to understand the person that's giving it the name. There's a lot that you can say about someone, or a lot that you can give someone with a name. So I'm gonna give y'all a definition real quick. The definition of inspiration: the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. And when I tell you the next lady that's about to speak is very creative, and she speaks with passion and drive in her heart, and all of my inspirational chick is your floor for your love segment. Can't wait to hear it. I'm sorry, your love note.
let me tell you something. What I've learned here, and I know we've been groomed from either our grandparents. Well, let me not even say grandparents. Let's say aunties and aunts, because most of this comes from a perspective of either fathers or mothers. And my thing is, you have to do what works for you, right? So there is no wrong way, because we love differently. We learn to love differently. We learn to understand people differently. But what we collectively do when we come on this show is to come in a healthy space to dialogue with respect. So what I'm going to say tonight is I respectfully respect the way you choose to love and handle the relationship, the courtship, or the dating that works best for you. If it keeps a pulse that works for you and there's no flat line, then I consider you to keep doing what you're doing. But when you see a flat line that's going to cause you not to have a pulse anymore, then that doesn't work. I do ask that you would go, you know what? Let me just not do this. I hate this little section. But anyway, just do what works for you. And so take whatever we have for you and just take some nuggets from it. We've got some things from you all, but love in a way, in a capacity that it brings life to what you have that you want to grow. And that's all, that's basically all I can say. There is no right or wrong. I mean, this is a tough conversation because, of course, like I say, all you hear is the man is supposed to do this, or we put the real man on it. Well, for me, I can look at a man that's a real man that I've seen work at McDonald's, and he go to work every day and he makes sure that his family is provided for, but he's doing it in a manner that works for him. Whatever, even if that's the fact that, say, he may have done some things that was wrong in life and society, say he can't get this job or whatever, but he took what he was given and he made the best out of what he could to provide, to get whatever, whatever dates, stay trips, drive down the road to Hot Springs. It worked for him. So I feel like we need to really deprogram ourselves in a lot of areas that we've been groomed and sculpted to think a certain way, because in the end, when you look at it, some of us have just been programmed in a manner that's just not working for us. It may have worked for Auntie and it may have worked for Uncle Billy and whatever, but it doesn't work for us. And just because it worked for them and we choose to do it a different way, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. I just feel like find the love pattern that works for you. Let that thing beat and pulse in the way that it should, and let it always be a lifeline. And if you see that there is some things that come in to mess that up, make sure you have a time to take the time to talk. But in the beginning, understand that everything should be put out on the table, that there should not be any offense if we respectfully respect one another, even if we're not going to go any further than dating. I respectfully respect the way you choose to handle it or the way you want to. It just doesn't work for me. That doesn't make you not a real man. It just ain't the man that you should be for me. So balance that thing out and dig deep within yourself to know what you want and not what somebody else told you it should be. Do what works for you and not for somebody else. And in the end, honey, I feel like if you just work like that, you just may wake up and smell the right roses. You may get you one, or you may even get you two. You know what I'm saying? All I want you to know,
Come on.
fragrance works for you, honey. Wear it well and let it work well for y'all. Okay, cologne and perfume. Let it come in and give the right essence to the relationship that you want. Okay, have a good night. Inspirational shit.
Yes.
All right, now it's time for the.
Hey, don't never be that dull after I get through. I'm just playing up.
He did come in kind of dry though.
Hey, but now we even because you threw me off like I threw your ass off a little bit.
You do
I was trying to read.
But I jump back on, James. Let me see if you're gonna bounce back.
Yeah. All right, but now it's time for the stimulus check, and I tried to help y'all out. I threw y'all that oop earlier and gave y'all that advanced warning of what we doing. Like I said, go ahead, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's how we giving the stimulus out tonight. We got, is it stimuluses or is it stimuli? What's plural for stimulus? We'll talk about that later. But anyway, stimuli. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But
Same.
stimuluses.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick 2 people that have subscribed to the YouTube channel. I'm talking, trying to prolong it a little bit because I always got y'all back. I'm trying to give y'all time to go and click and subscribe to the
We
YouTube.
already picked. It's time to roll.
I know you already picked. I was trying to get some more people. All right, then let's go.
My bad, man. I messed that up, dog. My bad.
All right, so we randomly picked 2 subscribers to win $30 each, and the winners are. Let them know, Flex.
Jemiah.
Cannon and Britt Roberts. Congratulations. That's $30 a piece. I get my 10% for letting y'all know what to do earlier in advance. You know, we're gonna do that. All right, inspirational chick, now it's on you.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. I gotta get back off the screen. Hold up.
Get up on the screen.
There we go.
So when we get to this part, it's about our parting thoughts. You know, I don't normally do this, but you know, I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to fit in any position that I'm placed in. You know, it's almost like being on the football field. You know, I want to be programmed, able to be the running back, the linebacker, you know, the corner, the receiver, the slot, the quarterback. I mean, all yeah.
Okay.
So this is the part. Yeah, I can flow like that. This is what we do. We're gonna do a parting thoughts, but we want to, you know, collectively talk to the panel about their parting thoughts, and then you can throw, if you have some, I guess our family, I should say, if you have something you want to throw over there, throw it over there too. But what we're gonna do, I'm gonna start with my boy T. Will. What's your parting thoughts, my boy?
And you know, I like simplicity. So, you know, I'm gonna just say keep investing in yourself. Know your self-worth, and just stay blessed every day, not just a day. Even on your bad day, stay blessed. And that's it for me.
Okay, what we got, Deb?
I'm gonna say this: happiness is not by chance; it's by choice. So be intentional each day to make yourself happy. You can't make no one else happy if you're not happy. Love yourself and love the one next to you.
Amen.
Flex.
Oh man, this one, man, I've been thinking all day, like, what am I gonna bring to y'all? And I think what I was thinking, this is appropriate for the show. Cane's Chicken. Listen, if you go out on a date to Cane's Chicken, you don't need ketchup, you just need the sauce. You can use that sauce for the fries, the chicken, and the toast. Cane's Chicken.
Because we know the chicken ain't worth nothing.
With that sauce.
But you know,
Be the sauce in the relationship. Be flexible.
And you need the sauce for the chicken.
And last but not least, my favorite little, you know, go back and forth dialogue partner on the show is JD. What do you have, baby?
I mean, Flex joking and stuff, but I'm about to get serious. We know that a lot of people are, you know, getting vaccinated, but we got to remember that COVID is still a real thing out there. And so what I want to say in all seriousness is to, like I said on my post the other day, mint before you mask. That's for all you anti-maskers. You'll be in a better mood. I think some people are really upset because they wearing those masks and they smelling their own breath. So if you eat a mint before you mask, you'll be in a better mood. So again, my parting words are to mint before you mask.
You know what? He was serious too.
I was like, man, what you finna bring for us?
That's a good one, though.
I'm like, it's gonna get deep in here. Let's get it.
No, I mean, but some people be smelling everything that they done ate and they done drink, and that's why they be in a bad mood. I don't want to wear that mask. It be a lot of funky breath, you know. So
is that why
if their breath was a little bit more fresh, then maybe they wouldn't mind wearing a mask. I mean, if you had bad breath and you just came hitting you all the time, you might be in a bad mood too. And that's why people don't want to wear the mask.
So why from now on, I know to let JD go first, because what I've learned about JD is at the end of the show, if JD does not already have it formulated on the piece of paper that is down below, and you have to come for him, he don't have really nothing to really say, because that ain't nobody tonight.
That was planned.
That was terrible. That was.
You didn't see that post he made the other day?
Yeah, she did.
I try not to, James, to take me to a place. I have to say stuff in my mind and say, don't say it.
This segment has been brought to you by Mentos, the fresh maker. we're practicing for sponsors. So if y'all got a business out there, y'all need promotion, y'all need sponsorship, we'll be able to throw y'all business in and up y'all sales. Y'all throw us a little bread and we'll throw y'all that. Ooh, be for real though. Get it.
You failed tonight because you didn't even have a Mentos, right? And we are in real time, so I need you to operate in that manner.
No, but Mentos has not paid us yet, so I can't be showing their product. This is an example.
Well, you talked about them. That's contradictory. Go, just don't say nothing else. Okay, but yeah, this is how we are tonight, and we just.
This segment is also brought to you by Inspirational Fix Curls. They are popping right now. I tried to get a little tip and advice from mom, but she didn't want to help me. So when y'all see me with an S curl,
I told him to wake up, baby, and run his fingers through with a little cool water. And he said he's been doing it all his life, and he's just dried it. You're not curl up. I don't know what else to tell him. Y'all got some advice?
He need to let his soul glow. Just let it shine through.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you before we get out. I'm gonna tell y'all my pool story.
Oh.
4th grade, I had an S curl, right? But I was poor, so I didn't have a lot of money. So I kept telling people, I need some activator. I ain't had no activator. So I came up with the bright idea to moisturize to keep my curls popping with my S curl back in the 4th grade. I'm gonna just put shampoo on my hair. You know what I'm saying? And it worked. My hair was curly, it was glistening, it was, it was all good. And so then one day we went to the public pool and I just cannonballed in there. And when I went in, bubble. It was bubbles everywhere. Oh man, I got so embarrassed, bro. Like, yeah, so yeah, that's my story about my
You didn't get a girlfriend?
Huh?
You didn't get a girlfriend?
In the 4th grade, I had my first girlfriend in the 1st grade. Her name was Monique, but that's a different story for a time later.
Hey, we need to take up a collection from Nicole. She said we owe her $30. She's the only one on YouTube.
She said, I'm always the only one here on YouTube.
You owe me.
But that's why we got, Nicole, that's why you got to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Well, no, there's Cynthia Readers on YouTube too. The little red dot is up there.
Yeah, you are not alone.
I am there for you.
All right. Check us out. Hey, I really enjoyed y'all. We're gonna hit this outro, come back and say hello, goodbye, and we'll sign off.
Oh, I'm finna say hello.
Now it's my turn to tell y'all about my big bro Gerard in the podcast crew. From TJ to Willis, Mr. K to Presser, you can't forget about the inspiration shit. They talk about it all, got advice for us all. You'll never know how deep the talks will go. On the weekdays, the weekends, they be going live with the top digs. Then they do the segment where the floor is yours. You can post your comments, you can post your statements, yeah. You can ask your questions, they can help you get your life moving in the right direction. If you need advice on marriage, advice on finance, advice on healing, advice on credit, this is the podcast that you need to check out. Go ahead and tune in. You'll feel what I'm talking about.
Oh, and before we go, just know that TJ, Tranquil T, and Coach Cookie, we miss y'all tonight, and we love y'all. Can't wait to see you till next Sunday. Mwah!
Peace.